my name's Adam Jadish. I'm a Director of Retail and Hospitality Solutions here at TRG. And I'm joined by our panelists today. Definitely looking forward to our discussion, which is going to be geared around retail trends, the year in review for 2022, but then more importantly, what do we expect to happen in 2023? So I'm going to go to our panelists and let them introduce ourselves. Mike, I'll start with you.
Mike Rosani, Senior Vendor Business Manager from Ingram Micro, responsible for the Zebra Technologies relationship.
Yeah, hey Adam, great to be here. My name is Paul Bojnak. I'm with Zebra Technologies, a Senior Account Management with retail accounts.
What do you think is going to be the main trends adapted by companies moving to 2023 then? So we just talked about 2022 and some of the things that are happening. What's coming next?
Yeah, I think as we move into 2023, we already talked about the current associate and customer experience. So how do we continue to further that customer experience? And one thing for what we're seeing with Ingram and our customer base is this adoption around augmented reality, right? Or we all talk about this metaverse that's happening. And so when as a consumer, you're walking through the store and you go by a end cap or an aisle and you see something that catches your eye, you'll be able to pull up your device and you'll be able to take a snapshot of that and then have that application push to you different filters or different ways that are, can impact your shopping trends. So providing you those recommendations, or again, you have an associate that has their device, and some of the Zebra stuff is that they can scan the aisle or they scan the shelf, right, and they can show exactly what product should have been there or what product ultimately could be missing. So I think there's going to be again that furthering expansion of the overall customer and associate experience to make their shopping trends easier, and then making the associates job or more timely to be able to pick and identify what is truly needed to go on that shelf, so that there's less things out of stock at that point.
Yeah, that's great points. And anybody we've talked to is they have a department dedicated to figuring out what that's going to look like, right, in the next 5 to 10 years. There's no doubt that there's going to be something big coming there. Paul, what do you guys see?
We definitely think that there's going to be a continuation of folks wanting to go back to the brick and mortar stores. That's going to continue. And again, we expect there's going to be continued labor challenges. And having that virtual experience is going to actually provide a challenge to the retailers on how do they train their employees to support all this and help their customers. And so we, with the growing trend of continuing to have mobile devices for each associate, we see that retailers are going to potentially look to have training aids and videos on how they can do their job better, and even virtual aids on their mobile devices, so that they could be a better resource for their end customer, improve that customer experience, and ultimately increase sales and revenue. That's really what they're all about, right? Is how can we help the customer get what they need, when they need it, as quickly as they need it, and have a win-win situation for everyone.
The buy online, pick up in store, buy online, pick up a car, buy online, return in store, right? Which are huge trends that really hit when the pandemic really took full force. Obviously, we're still in that mode, and that's not going away anytime soon. What do you guys see happening on that front?
Yeah, I think the customers have grown to expect that now. That's almost par for the course right now, and you have to have a good experience with buy online, pick up in store, or curbside pickup, or even ship from store. And the challenge is all this. Sometimes when a lot of times the customers will buy more than one of each, and then they would want to return it. So seamless returns, and not having to spend a lot of time to sort out, am I getting credited for what I returned? I think that's going to be a huge impact on customer experience for retailers.
Yeah, I think it's this digital trend, right, is continuing here. We're seeing everything go more and more digital, whether it be online sales and pick up in store, or pick up, curbside pickup in this case. So you have this digital footprint that's now happening, and in order to be able to support that, these retailers are going to have to start thinking about their infrastructure as well too, and are they capable of making that adoption and making those right investments to be able to support all of these devices, all of these printers, all of these scanners, or things that are going to be going on their network at this point. And then not even just, again, inside the four walls, right? But you have curbside, or you have things happening outside the store. So, outside the four wall type solution. So, the adoption of 5G and better network connectivity outside the four walls is going to be a huge area of focus that we're going to continue to see.
And especially to support the seamless mobile point of sale,
Mhm.
contactless point of sale, you have to have that connectivity and the tools to do that.
Yep.
You bring up a great point with payments. How is payments going to change in 23?
I believe a lot of the customers like the contactless experience. They want to be able to just swipe and go, or even they might have a virtual account and their payment methods already included in their loyalty programs, and just a quick verification of who I am and how I go.
Yeah, I think with that regard, retailers have to start looking at this adoption trend of how to support their consumers with all of these different payment options. So, historically, right, cash was king. A lot of places aren't accepting cash anymore. So to have that contactless payment, whether it be a card or through a loyalty program or leveraging points that are part of your loyalty program at that point, is something that these retailers are going to have to again kind of be in front of that consumer demand or that customer demand to be successful.
Well, some of the challenges that come along with that are shrink, right? You want to make sure that folks aren't taking stuff and they're actually getting revenue for what they're taking home.
Yeah.
And Zebra Profit Deck tools allow you to look at loss prevention and shrinkage, and help optimize and do valuations on and help targeting those who customers that might not might be suspect, but still make sure that the customer that is doing the transactions and are processing correctly are not being mistakenly impacted either. So there's a fine balance between making sure you don't have shrink, but on the other hand, making sure your customer has a very good contactless experience.
We're seeing a lot of the same things, right, on our side. There's no doubt about it, right? Most retailers are trying to figure out how to migrate all their payments in order to be able to take all methods, right?
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of different preferences based off the demographics and the market that you're in. So it's exciting to see, especially being in technology like we are, some of the
Absolutely.
changes that are happening right now.
Yeah.
Paul, talk to me real quick about some of the automation and some of the labor. And you brought up some software programs that are giving retailers the information in order to make wiser decisions and drive their business in the right direction. So talk to me about some of the automation products that are out there nowadays that the companies are migrating to.
So a lot of the tools that the customers are requiring, the retailers are requiring, is the ability to know what they have, where they're located, and inventory is very inventory accuracy is very critical, right? You have to know exactly what you have, because the customer experience get negatively impacted if you don't have that. And a lot of those information have to happen on the back end. And RFID has been a great resource for automating inventory, and we see that trend continuing and growing with that. And so, yeah, we definitely feel that software is going to have to marry hardware technology together in an automated fashion to address the labor shortages and to allow the customer to have that good experience in the store.
Yeah, very good. Mike, what are you guys seeing on your side?
Yeah, I mean, obviously the increase in data collection then, right? So, all of these devices are capturing all of this data, and, as a retailer, what are you ultimately doing? What type of decisions, key decisions are you going to be making off of the data that you're gathering, not only on, your demographics and your consumers, but also the top products then that you're buying, is that going to lead to certain buying trends for you to make future investments or de-invest into some other products that may not be moving as quickly? So there's obviously, billions and billions of data out there that retailers have at their fingertips for them to help make better decisions, with the capturing of Zebra, on Zebra devices then, and for us that ultimately helps us as a consumer take advantage of that.
One of the things that we've also seen now is that supply chain is starting to catch up, but that supply chain that's catching up from before. So the retailers have to balance between supply chain of maybe what they have excess inventory of, as well as what they need to order going forward. So how do they redistribute what they have in stock in the right locations, as well as what do you order going forward with continued longer lead times through supply chain. So that automation too between that kind of has to be balanced and make sure the product is in the right areas that they need to be, as well as you mentioned, how do you predict going forward, what
That's neat.
what quantities you need in various areas and demographics and store location demographics.
We're seeing information and targeted information towards the specific customer, right?
Absolutely.
More and more personalization with the shopping experience has really been a big driving point. And you're absolutely right. With the more analytics you get, it's a matter of bringing that analytics in and properly applying it and everything. Paul, Mike, I want to thank both of you guys for being here today. Like I said, it's exciting times to see where this thing is going to go and what's going to happen. One thing I know is we're in a good spot because technology is really driving all these changes that are really going to drive the top retailers to success and towards the end of this year, along with into next year, into 23. So I appreciate very much. We thank you all for listening in, and we appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Adam. We appreciate being here.
Thanks,
Our
guys.
partnership.
Yeah, thanks for the partnership.
Appreciate it, guys.